طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Continuing from Bab Al-Zihar and Kitab Al-Talaq from Ad-Durar Al-Bahiyyah. We started explaining last week, not last night, what this is, what's meant by this, why it is important to know and to understand, and some of the basic, most rudimentary rulings of the chapter. A man says to his wife that she is to him like his mother's back or hand or foot, etc., and why this is impermissible and unlawful, and what happens and what is the punishment and the expiation for making a statement of such. Shawkani rahimahullah says, وَيُجُوزُ لِلْإِمَامِ أَنْ يُعِينَهُ مِنْ صَدَقَاتِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ إِذَا كَانَ فَقِيرًا لَا يَقْدِرُ عَلَى الصَّوْمِ. Another ruling of this chapter is that the Muslim ruler has the option of helping him out if he's poor, meaning he has to pay the expiation, and it's lawful for the ruler to donate money to him for him to pay the expiation. وَلَهُ أَنْ يَصْرِفَ مِنْهَا لِنَفْسِهِ وَعِيَالِهِ. And when he receives that expiation, he is allowed to spend it on himself and his family if he's poor. And then the Shawkani rahimahullah ta'ala, he talks about the tawqit. He talks about whether it's a restricted period of time or an unrestricted period of time. We're going to move on to the next chapter in which he says, Babul li'an. إذا رمى الرجل امرأته بالزنا ولم تقر بذلك ولا رجع عن رميه لعنها فيشهد الرجل 4 شهادات بالله إنه لمن الصادقين والخامسة أن لعنة الله عليه إن كان من الكاذبين ثم تشهد المرأة 4 شهادات بالله إنه لمن الكاذبين والخامسة أن غضب الله عليها إن كان من الصادقين ويفرق الحاكم بينهما وتحرم عليه أبدا ويلحق الولد بأمه فقط ومن رماها به فهو قاذف. The next chapter is called Al-Li'an. Al-Li'an. He explains Al-Li'an by saying that whenever a man accuses his wife of infidelity or accuses his wife of cheating, he claims that his wife slept with another man and that she shared his bed with another man or with other men. وَلَمْ تُقِرَّ بِذَلِكَ. And she does not acknowledge this. She denies it. She says, no, that's not true. That's a lie. That's slander. I never cheated on you. وَلَا رَجَعَ عَنْ رَمْيِهِ. Nor does he retract it. Then the only thing that can be done here, he says, لَا عَنَهَا. Then he makes the li'an process. The li'an process now begins. So a man, he says that his wife slept with someone else, and the man does not retract his statement. He's strong. Nothing can convince and cause him to waver from his decision, and she does not acknowledge it. The li'an practice now comes into play. What is the li'an practice? He says, فَيَشْهَدُ الرَّجُلُ 4 شَهَادَاتٍ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّهُ لَمِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ. The man is to swear by Allah 4 times. He's to swear by Allah 4 times that he's telling the truth and that she's lying. And the 5th time that he swears, he invokes Allah's curse upon him if he's lying. He invokes the curse of Allah upon him if he's not telling the truth. Then the woman, in her case, and in her justification, and in her defense, she does the same thing. She swears 4 times by Allah's sake, or in the name of Allah. She swears by Allah 4 times that the man is not telling the truth. And the 5th time she swears and she invokes Allah's anger and wrath upon her if he is telling the truth. Once this is done, the following things must take place. Number 1, he says, يُفَرِّقُ الْحَكِمُ بَيْنَهُمَا. the ruler, the qadi, splits them up. The marriage is now annulled. It's over. وَتَحْرُمُ عَلَيْهِ أَبَدًا, and they can never ever remarry. They can never ever get back together once more. Thirdly, وَيُلْحَقُ الْوَلَدُ بِأُمِّهِ فَقَط. The son or the boy or the girl, the child, is only attributed to the mother. The son is not called Abdurrahman ibn Abdullah, but he will be called Abdurrahman ibn Safiya, Abdurrahman ibn Khadija, Abdurrahman ibn Karima, and it won't be Abdurrahman ibn Kareem. Everyone understand this? But the child is not called a child of zina. The child is not called a child of zina, but the child is attributed to his mother and not to his father. وَمَنْ رَمَاهَ بِهِ فَهُوَ قَاذِفٌ. And the one who claims that she did this, she was unchaste, he is a qadhif, meaning he has fallen into the impermissible act and the major act of al-qadhf, to accuse a chaste believing woman of zina without 4 witnesses. Without what? 4 witnesses. Now, let's just stop and break this down just a little bit. We know that this ruling is discussed in the Quran in detail in chapter number 24, Surah An-Nur. Allah, He talks about this. And it's a very interesting fact here when Allah Azza wa Jal, He says, وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ أَزْوَاجَهُمْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُمْ شُهَدَاءُ إِلَّا أَنفُسُهُمْ. One verse says, those who accuse chaste believing women ثُمَّ لَمْ يَأْتُوا بِأَرْبَعَةِ شُهَدَاء فَاجْلِدُوهُمْ 80 جَلْدَةً وَلَا تَقْبَلُوا لَهُمْ شَهَادَةً أَبَدًا. Al-Ayat. Allah says those who accuse women who are chaste, muhsanat, they accuse them of illicit acts sexually, and they don't bring 4 witnesses, then whip them, flog them 80 times. And then Allah says about the husbands, وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ أَزْوَاجَهُمْ. And then they accuse their wives, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُمْ شُهَدَاءُ إِلَّا, and they have no witnesses besides themselves. There's a difference between the wording. You didn't bring 4 witnesses, you only have yourself. Meaning that the man may be telling the truth. And if a man accuses his wife of that, he knows what he saw. He cannot deny what he saw. But he is not allowed to make that claim. That claim is not allowed to be solidified unless he has other witnesses. Everyone understand this? So there's a huge difference between an outsider and between the husband himself. The man walked into the bedroom and he saw his wife making zina with another man. What is he supposed to do now? Reject what he saw? Of course not. But at the same time, this door cannot be opened up for any woman to be accused without the necessary caution and precaution. Everyone understand this? So there's 2 different issues here. So therefore, the severity and the gravity of accusing a believing Muslim woman of something that she did or she didn't do. Husband versus someone who isn't a husband. So the one who makes this claim is qadhf. And qadhf is a major sin. It's a punishment in his life. It's a punishment in hereafter. And it is something which is destructive and ruinous to one's adala, to one's equity as a witness. He will be considered a fasiq. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Allah says, and they are the fasiqs. Do not accept their shahada. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ تَابُوا مِنْ بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ وَأَصْلَحُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Except for those who repent what? Afterwards. So it proves that qadhf is a major sin. And the Quran does not deny the reality that there are people who do these acts and fall into these acts. And there are people who accuse people of these acts without the necessary proof and evidence. So the truth is never ever rejected. But a person's claim without the necessary support is not accepted at the same time. So both grounds are covered. Everyone understand this? Because this would be chaotic if the door was opened up for any man to say anything about any woman, or any woman to say anything about any man whenever they want to. Everyone understand this? So this goes to show us how complete the Sharia is. And it's another aspect of human life, is that there are going to be people who say things about their wives and say things about their husbands, and there are going to be husbands and wives who do these things. So this is something which is mentioned in detail, And the Quran has not left it to our discretion or to our culture or what we think and feel how to deal with a cheating husband, a cheating wife, etc. But it's given us legislation. And it shows how the Sharia is totally complete. And there's nothing that's left and ignored or neglected with regards to what can happen to the human being. What? What can happen to the human being. Everyone understand this? Tight. This also goes to show us is that marriage in Al-Islam is not always necessarily forever. And we don't believe in that as Muslims till death do us part. And that divorce is impermissible. Rather, that is from the legislature of the Nasara, of those who call themselves Christians. And many Muslims, unfortunately, they have adopted this practice and follow the non-Muslims in this practice. And the belief, bilisani halihim, they physically say that divorce is totally unlawful and impermissible and it can never ever be done. That's a problem, okay? So marriage does not always necessarily have to last forever. If the marriage is good, if it's harmonious, if they can overcome their small problems and mistakes and flaws, then of course, alhamdulillah. But if that's not the case, then that's not the case. And it is no Christian legislature in which you can never ever get divorced. Everyone understand this? Or separated. And from that is the li'an. When a man says this about his wife and he doesn't have the necessary proof and the necessary evidence. This chapter also shows us how grave it is to attack the honor of another Muslim. To attack the honor of another Muslim. And that's a serious offense. And this also goes to show the seriousness of Allah being angry with a person. And that if Allah is angry with you and Allah has cursed you, that's it. There's not much more that you can look forward to of good in this life. And that is why that is the top and highest level of the testimonies. 4 times, 5th time this. 4 times, 5th time that. Everyone understand this? Tight, moving forward. It says here, وَيُفَرِّقُ الْحَاكِمُ بَيْنَهُمَا. And there's a separation that's made by the hakim. Who's the hakim now in 2019? Is it the imam at the masjid? Is it the resident scholar, the local faqih, the student of knowledge, the graduate from the university and your masjid? Can he do this? And what are the necessary steps for this process to take place, like we explained before, with regards to the khula? Remember? He can never ever remarry her. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Oh, I was angry. You know I love you. Oh, it's not like that. You know, we go good together. They can never ever get remarried after that serious offense. There's no reuniting. And this also proves as that there are other types of separation in which there can be reunification afterwards. Are you understand this? And sometimes it should be, or at least it can, depending on the situation. And then it says the child is attributed to his mother and not to the father, proving the meaning of the hadith, al-waladu lil-firash. The child belongs to the bed. Yani li sahibil firash, the one who owns the bed, the man. And that a person is supposed to be attributed to the father. Fulan ibn Fulan. And not necessarily with a last name. Not necessarily with a last name, but Muhammad ibn Fulan. Abdullah ibn Fulan, the son of such and such. Moving forward. طيب. It says here. طيب. ماشي. Modern day applications such as technology. A man is accusing his wife of sleeping around and he makes hidden cameras in the bedroom. Spy shop. Right? On Hillside Avenue. It's still there? Right? Or Amazon. All types of technology, hidden recorders, voice recorders, right? Infrared cameras, all types of stuff, right? Now, the man, he has the footage. He goes to the security footage every night. His wife thinks he's sleeping or working. He's in the basement going through the footage. And he finds that there's an intruder. Somebody walks into his bedroom and then they do what they do. And he has the footage clear as day. Is that footage good enough to be used to declare that she has made zina? Can that be used in an Islamic court? Or is it a must that there are 4 actual humans, 4 witnesses? Or is it 4 people in him, 5 altogether? Or, regardless of the number, is that sufficient? Then obviously the Quran clearly says, ثُمَّ لَمْ يَأْتُوا بِأَرْبَعَةِ شُهَدَاء. Then they don't bring 4 witnesses. That's nas, sarih, clear text. Right? It doesn't say ilm or think or hear. It says yatu, bring. But does that mean that the modern means of technology are totally and absolutely ignored in 2019? Everyone understand this? Or DNA test for the child. This child is not mine. She got pregnant. The DNA proves that it's from brother Abdullah or Rob, a non-Muslim, whoever it is. He says that's not my child. Is that enough proof in Islam for the child to be attributed to the mother and not to him? Or as long as he was married to her and he was the owner of the bed, it's his child. These modern day issues of forensics and technology are used by the ulama for or against. With regards to, and what I mean by being used is they consider them, whether it's strong enough to prove it or not. But it can't be a thing which is totally ignored and neglected. And that's because many things have advanced in our modern times. Are we understand this or not? And it'll be hypocritical to say that these things have no usage whatsoever, but we use them for salat. And we use them for fasting, we use them for traveling, and we use them for other medical needs, so on and so forth. So this is a very interesting issue. Also, is it permissible to do this? Is it permissible or lawful to spy on your wife? Can you put a hidden camera in the bedroom or the bathroom or any other place you think that she's doing something that you don't like? Or vice versa. Can you spy on your husband? They asked the question the other day, is it permissible for a woman to go through her husband's phone if she thinks that something is going on? Or vice versa. And if you do find something in the person's phone, is that enough proof to establish an Islamic ruling upon it? You're cheating on me. Everyone understand this? That's a very important issue in itself with regards to the danger of technology. Social media, right? Going on social media, looking and searching, so on and so forth, right? Khairan, inshallah ta'ala. And just stop and just look and just think. Ask yourselves, what is the reality, or not reality, it's a bad word. What's the probability? What are the chances of your wife making zina, cheating on you in your home or somewhere else, and you have 4 witnesses, and all of you guys go and see her and catch them in act? Often, common or not? Meaning that the Quran, the teachings of the Quran, they're trying to push us away from this practice. And how once this practice is implemented, and you start accusing and pointing a finger and looking and searching, everything is what? Torn to pieces. The fabric of society, of the household, the trust, the love, the respect will be what? Gone. Everyone understand this or not? So it's very, very, very important, and it's extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. And Allah surely knows best. Moving forward. The author, rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, Babul Iddah. And before we go forward, this is another manifestation of not controlling one's tongue. Not controlling one's tongue. Nah? And that qadf is a major sin that is committed with the tongue. Backbiting, gossip, lying, speaking about Allah without proper knowledge, making fun of someone, attacking someone's lineage, and also making qadf, saying that someone is a zani, or someone did this, or someone did that. That's a major sin of the tongue, and it has to be avoided. It has to be avoided. Khayr, inshallah, we'll stop here tonight. Allah Azza wa Jal surely knows best. Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam wa barak ala abdihi wa rasulih nabina Muhammad.